Hey guys, so I have a few items to show you, and 3 of them deal with HVZ. One of them is kind of for my NIC loadout. So let's go to NIC first to get out of the way. So we're gonna go travel back in time to Nam's house with correspondent IAmBobololo from the past. So, Bubba, tell me what's going on. I've been reviving the Ghetto Blaster. It was a 3K tank shoved into a Tech 10, old Tech 10 shell, and the tank kind of got fucked over and stopped working. So we're reviving it and putting it into a recon shell. So that's going to be kind of fun. Look forward to that. But the 3K I'm working on taking apart a couple of the screw strips. So it's gotta die. Ah! 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 Where is the tank? Ah! Ah! Now we have the tank ready to be taken out and put into the Ghetto Blaster. Awesome. So now that that's out of the way, let's get to some HVZ stuff. I'm going to start with some cameras. They're mini HD cameras that record at 720p 30 frames a second. And when 2 of them are put together, they are still less than the size of my palm. These are called 808 cameras, and they go by numbers. I have a number 16, which will be in my right hand, and a number 11, which is in my left. This one's a little rattly, but that's just the buttons. So, what these are, they are 2 cameras that are made in Hong Kong, as my dog walks in. Hi. And they are sold by a couple people, but the one I trust is going to be linked below. They sell them for about $38, $40. That's with shipping, because shipping is free. So, I'm going to be using these during HVZ as kind of like side cameras and whatnot, because someone down at the school we're playing at has been kind enough to lend me their GoPro camera. So that's really cool. So I'm going to be able to use a GoPro camera for the first time. But if he retracts that offer, or if I need some people, you know, run around with cameras as well, I have 2 of these. Now, they're slightly different in that the number 11 is a little bit older and the number 16 is newer. And the number 16 has better firmware. You can do little firmware updates on these, which is really cool. And you can also change the settings on it through text documents. So what I'm going to do is I put these next to each other kind of like that earlier today, and we're going to do a little side-by-side comparison. And I'm using my camera as a little like kind of to show you what it's up against with a full 1080p camera that costs around $500. So you can do a little comparison, but it's a little overcast, it's a little gloomy, it's a little gray, so keep that in mind. So let's do a comparison. For such small little cameras, these things are quite good, and I like them. I have footage from Nomni, which ran on the number 11, and it looked really good. So that's that. And if you're asking about what happened to Nomni footage, well, I can't really upload things on my internet because it's really unreliable, but I will be moving into a new place, and hopefully we'll get some fast internet. So those will be uploaded in the future because my internet sucks. So just yeah, stop asking. Now, the only problem I have with these cameras is that they have short battery life. You get about 30 minutes for around an hour, and that's just because the batteries are really small on them. I mean, really small. So to combat that, I picked up a circuit board from a company called Adafruit, and I made something called the Minty Boost. It is a AA battery voltage converter into USB power. So it looks like this. Really small, and it was a lot of fun to put together. So what I'm going to do is I need to put a little bit more electrical tape around the inside because I don't want this to, you know, short circuit itself or anything. And I mean, you just carry it right next to each other. You can even mount it, I guess, if you really want to. And it'll just provide nice backup power when it is needed. I've tested it and it does work on the number 16, so that's really cool. I'm happy to have that. So let's put that aside and let's go on to the next thing. Now, as you know, I've been making Fenrir for quite some time, and a lot of you have been asking, when is it going to get done? When are we going to see it? Well, Nam and I actually put it together. It still needs to be wired up and battery compartment made, but this is what it looks like when it's put together. This thing is 28 inches long and it is 7.4 pounds, mostly because of the polycarb in the front. And we bought a ratchet set from Harbor Freight for really cheap, and that allowed us to easily put on those U-bolts because we were trying to do it with wrenches and it was just a pain in the ass. So this is what it looks like, and this thing is a beast. It holds 58 rounds because 35 round drums don't really fit because of the Stormfire plunger tube areas, or plunger areas. But I'm content with it, and I'm really excited to use this, and I'm really excited to test it out. Now, you guys won't be seeing firing footage until the HVZ game because I'm a cock tease like that. So, yeah, Fenrir is coming along quite nicely as I bang it around against the table. But that's what it looks like, and I cannot wait to finish it up. I'm getting really excited about it. And on to the last thing. You know, I was working on a Compressored Magstrike, and here it is. I finished it, and it was a lot easier than I thought it would be. I had to use a new Magstrike shell because the other one was cut up, and for some reason there was super glue along this seam. So the top and the bottom halves on one side got ripped apart from each other. So I just changed it out. Now, instead of making it internal, I made a little bit of external, but it connects to the bottom here, and it just looks so much better that way. And it was a lot easier than cutting up the front to make it fit and then shoving it in there. So all it is thin wall PVC, and it is epoxy putty to it, and then air holes are cut out so it can breathe. I might put a little bit more, but I'm not sure. And then screws are tapped into it so you can take it off, switch it to a new Magstrike if this one fails, or just easily make another one because this thing was really easy to make. So you have your compressor hose and a little barb right here where it attaches. Right here, you take that and you squeeze it on, and it's airtight. Now there's a small leak somewhere in here due to tubing issues, so I'm probably going to go back and fix that and just set it up. And how it works is you have your batteries which connect to this, and the positive lead goes all the way up here to the kill switch because, you know, in case you want to turn it on or off. And then from there it goes to a reed switch in the back here, which when it's open turns it on. So the bladder can fill it. When it's closed, it turns it off so it doesn't overfill and explode, and then that just leads to the motor, and the negatives are connected to each other. Really simple. It was a lot of fun making this, and I didn't want to buy a 12-volt battery because this is a 12-volt run compressor. So I used some 9.6s that I've had in my house for about a year now, and I've been meaning to get something to use these with, and I finally have an application. So yeah, we're going to put one up to it first. And then now I had the crazy idea of I should put another one up to it. So I'll show you that second. But first, I'll plug one in, make sure it's off. It takes about 16 seconds to fill with one battery, which is a little slow for my taste. And one of the biggest problems I have with it is that it only really gets off one clip for a full fill. And I don't like that because I'm used to the yellow Magstrikes, which can get, you know, 2.5, 3 clips off, but the older ones have different internals than the newer ones, and the newer ones are slightly different, a little bit better. But yeah, so let's fill this up. Here we go. Alright, so 16 seconds. It's a little slow. I can fill up my other one. I counted at about the same time and it gets off 2.5 clips. But what's really nice about this is if you want to be a really slow burster, then you can use this pretty well. But one battery isn't enough. I'll just show you. This is with 10 rounds coming out. It automatically kicks back in. Now, that's not the fun part. The fun part is when you add 2 batteries. I've already tested this a few times and it is ridiculous. So let me plug in my little 2 battery thing I made. Just, you know, that. Now this battery I need to kind of come in here and epoxy or just replace the little tip at the front because I don't know how, but it got pushed down over the years of just being in my house, so I'll probably just cut it off and use an extra piece. So let's see if it will cooperate when being put on, and it does. Cool. And let's put on the other battery here. So this has about 19.2 volts running through it. So with 2 batteries, it takes a lot less time to fill up, as you'll see, so let's turn it on. And that's with one of the batteries not being charged completely, and I know that makes a difference with these at least. So I'm going to do a little burst firing with it, since that's really the application that it can be used with. Every time I tilt it over like that, that means I am, pertaining to reloaded clips. So I'll do my best to count it, but let's see how well this works. So yeah, this thing works extremely well. I just gotta fix that one battery. As you heard, it was kind of getting low on power and need to charge it as well. But one of my only problems that I have with this is when it's running with the two batteries, this piston, this is a really small piston in the front, but that's what puts all the air out, heats up pretty fast and it gets pretty hot. So my question to you guys is, can you think of a way that I could cool it off without having to put more wires in it and run it off the batteries? I just need some way to keep it nice and cool because I don't want it breaking, even though I know compressors are built for some heavy use. But I'd hate for this thing to be used for like 2 hours and then just all of a sudden stop working. So if you guys can think of a way to put something on it or over it or something like that to where it will cool off, because the rest of the motor is pretty cool, it's just that piston that I'm worried about. That'd be really awesome. So if you have an idea, put it in the comments and maybe I'll use it. That's the Compressored Magstrike, and I really like it. It's a lot of fun, really easy to make if you just cut off this front area, and I might let Nam use it since I like spamming my Magstrikes instead of burst fire, but you never know. The only problem is a lot of college campuses do not allow compressors on, but some of the mods said just bring it and we'll be the judge of it, so hopefully they let me use it because I love this thing, and some of my cleanest work as well. There's a couple holes just where I was testing, the fits and everything, but overall it's a really clean integration and I absolutely love it. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did making it, and I will make a video for you guys later, most likely this song. Anyways, have a great day.